Shalom. This is Abidan from the tribe of Benjamin. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles who teach the sincere truth around the four corners of the earth. Kwam Yasharala, what's goody Israel? It's your boy Abidan. Today's lesson is going to be about the eagle, America, right? Esau being the eagle in America and the connection, right? The generations of Esau, Edom, how they came out of the rocks and the mountains, and from the mountains, how they were the Romans, and how they went from being the Romans to now America, Babylon the Great, right? And how they want to be, they exalt themselves as the eagle, right? The bird of prey, the white bird of prey. Using that term white like they always do. So that's what today's lesson is about. Esau exalting himself as the eagle, Babylon the Great, the eagle. Alright? So we'll start at Genesis chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Right? Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholabah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite. So we'll skip down now to 6. Genesis chapter 36, verse 6. And Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all his beasts and all his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother. For the riches were more than that they might dwell together. Jacob had too much and Esau had too much, so they couldn't dwell together. And the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. All right. And all their substance he had got in the land of Canaan. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together. And the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. They both had way too much, right? Esau and Jacob had way too much. They couldn't dwell together, so they split up. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. All right? And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. Right? Jacob is the father of Israel, the Israelites, the Jacobites, right? Esau is the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. Okay? So Mount Seir, ain't nothing new under the sun. That's Mount Seir on your left. As you can see, Mount Seir, how they built in the rocks, right? Then we got Rome on your right. Similar buildings, right? Similar structure, similar architecture. Mount Seir on the left, Rome on the right. Then Great Britain on the left, after Rome, right? And then the White House in D.C. on the right. Same architecture. Same build. Same design. from the beginning. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Okay? Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. All right? You see? So, ain't nothing new under the sun. Just how they built Mount Seir, they built the same way in Rome. They built the same way in Great Britain, the same way at the White House now. Ain't nothing new under the sun. All right. An article here. This is from TalmudBlasphemy.com. The Edomites were in Israel when the Jews were in Israel. King Herod, which was not a Jew, was an Edomite. They dwelled amongst the Jews, ate with the Jews, adopted their practices, culture, etc. Later, all right, so they ate with us. They practiced our culture. Okay? Adopted our practices and adopted our culture. The Edomites were in Israel. When Judah, the Judites, the southern kingdom, were in Israel. King Herod, which was not of Judah, not of the southern kingdom, he was an Edomite. He was not an Israelite. He was an Edomite from Esau. They dwelled amongst Judah. They dwelled amongst the Jews. Ate with Jews. Ate with us. Dwelt amongst us and adopted our practices. Culture vultures. Adopted our culture and etc. So they adopted our God, our culture, our religion, the way that we eat, the ways of an Israelite, through the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right? So the Edomites been culture vultures from the beginning. All right? Later, when Titus besieged, well, let's go to Herod real quick, and we'll come back to this. All right? So the Herodian dynasty was a royal dynasty of Idumean. That's Edomite descent. That's how you say Edom or Edomite in Greek. Idumean. Edomite descent. Ruling the Herodian kingdom and later the Herodian Roman Empire. Right? The Herodian dynasty began with Herod the Great, who assumed the throne of Judea with Roman support, bringing down the century-long Hasmonean kingdom. His kingdom lasted until 4 BCE. All right, Herod the Great. Okay. Herod was a Roman client king of Judea, referred to as the Herodian kingdom. The history of his legacy has polarized opinion, and he is known for his colossal building projects throughout Judea. Let me see. Herod, all right, we'll go down here. Herod also appears in the Christian Gospel of Matthew as the ruler of Judea, who orders the massacre of the innocents at the time of the birth of Yahushua. All right? So that's on Herod. So we'll go back now. All right. King Herod, which was not a Jew, was an Edomite. They dwelled amongst the Jews, ate with the Jews, adopted their practices, culture vultures, etc. Later, when Titus besieged Jerusalem and killed the Israelites and sold the younger ones to the Ethiopians, Arabs, and Egyptians. The Edomites who resided, all right, so they killed us off, right? Killed off the adults and sold off the younger ones to the Ethiopians, Arabs, and Egyptians. That's why all you devils are guilty, all right? All of you evil tabernacle of Edom, y'all are all guilty. The Edomites, who resided in Israel, later proclaimed themselves to be the house of Israel. And are now recognized as Israel today by the majority of the world. All right? Blasphemy, culture vultures. So after they killed the Israelites and sold the younger ones to the Ethiopians, Arabs, and Egyptians, which later turned into the transatlantic slave, right? The Edomites who resided in Israel stole our culture, proclaimed themselves now the house of Israel, and to this day are recognized as by the majority of the world as the Judites. But they are culture vultures. They lie. All right? So let's go back to the scriptures now. Go to Obadiah. All right. We'll go to Obadiah. We'll start at the beginning so you know what we're talking about. Obadiah chapter 1 and 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. Okay, that's who we're talking about in this chapter. Thus saith Yahweh, the power, concerning Edom. Okay, so now let's go down to verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right? Because they set themselves high amongst the stars. And they exalt themselves as the eagle, because that's what this lesson is about. All right? Esau exalting himself as the eagle, and then putting it out in the public, letting everyone knows who he is through his signs and symbolism. Babylon. Right? Babylon the Great. Let's go to Malachi chapter 1, verse 2. I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein has you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. His mountains. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. All right, where does Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places, right? We will rebuild desolate places. Okay? From Mount Seir to Rome, to Great Britain, to the USA, America. They will rebuild, right? Their impoverished places. All right. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. All right. So you see what we're talking about here. Back to Obadiah. All right. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right. Because Esau exalts himself as the eagle. And we know that about Esau. All right. He's the bird of prey, a hunting bird. Just like Esau is a hunter, and Jacob dwelt in tents. All right, it's all spiritual. If you could see it, it's meant for you to see it. All right, Babylon the Great, Esau, America, Babylon the Great, Rome, Babylon, America, the eagle, the hunter. Okay, you see? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, right? Because they rebuild and they reach for the stars like they did with the Tower of Babel. Now they got satellites and space force because they exalt themselves as the eagle amongst the stars, right? Because that's what Esau's all about. So let's go to Isaiah 34. The eagle. Isaiah 34 and 14. We'll start at 13. And thorns shall... No, we'll start... 13. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. All right? Habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beast of the desert shall also meet with the wild beast of the islands. All right? And the vulture shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest and lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. All right. This the vulture, the great owl, the screech owl. Parables for America, Babylon the Great. All right. Habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The screech owl also shall rest there and find her place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest and lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. Okay, the screech owl. The screech owl. Okay, the eagle, the bird of prey. Let's go to Revelations, chapter 18. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with the glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You see that? Can you see it? Babylon the Great has fallen, is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and hold of every foul spirit. We'll come right back. Habitation of devils, right? Go back to Isaiah 34 and 14 or 13. And it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. And it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. Back to Revelation 18. Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, right? And the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Habitation of dragons, habitation of devils, foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Every unclean and hateful bird. The screech owl, the great owl, the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mates, the habitation of every unclean and hateful bird. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All right. Every unclean and hateful bird. So let's go back now. Bald eagle, right? The bald eagle, America's bird, right? Is a bird of prey found in North America. The bald eagle is the national bird of the United States. The bald eagle is a bird of prey found in North America. Bird of prey. Eagle, owl, vulture, falcon. All right? Eagle. Birds of prey or raptors include species of bird that primarily hunt and feed. All right? Primarily hunt and feed. Should you give me a moment? I'm looking for Esau was a hunter. Because Esau was a hunter, right? And here Here it goes. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me. And after that came his brother out, and he took his hand. And the boys grew up. All right, here it goes, 27. Genesis 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. All right? And, all right, before that, we'll read above that for people that are new. Because Jacob and Esau are the twin brothers, right? And after that came his brother out. All right. And the first came out red all over, like an hairy garment. And they call his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took on the Esau's heel, because Esau's the beginning. Jacob is following after Esau. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 old when she bare them, Rebekah who bare them, right? So, yeah, Rebekah. All right, so the point is here. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Okay? Esau was a cunning hunter. Birds of prey include species of bird that primarily hunt. Eagle, bald eagle, is a bird of prey, a bird that hunts. All right? The hunter, you see in spirituality, in the spiritual, how you can see when it's there, it's all laid out there for you. And Esau knows what he's doing. That's why he exalts himself as the eagle. And the boys grew up, and Esau was a cunning hunter. All right? And Esau was a cunning hunter. Bird of prey. Because that's what Esau does. He goes over the earth and he hunts who he can devour. All right? Esau is the eagle. Esau is Babylon the Great. America is Babylon the Great. And Esau is running the world. Okay? He exalts himself as the eagle. You see? And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. So you guys can see. All right? Esau is the habitation, a cleft of Mount Seir. You can see how Herod was an Edomite, how they stole our culture vultures. Okay? And Babylon the Great is run by a habitation of unclean birds. And Esau exalts himself as the eagle. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among thy stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Okay? Yahweh's going to bring him down. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. And there's more precepts I can go into, but I'm not going to make it too long. That's what today's lesson is about. All right? Esau exalting himself as the eagle. America's bird is the bald eagle, which means white bird, bird of prey. All right? The white hunter, which we know they're not white, but they're red all over and hairy. I hope that lesson's edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.